Yo, this is SABA, and you watching AU Dollars.
Daydream thinking how to get some more. And it will be good. And it will be good. And it will be good. All of thinking how to get some
Yo,
more.
what up, Cash fam? My name is Matthew Craig, and you are locked into AU Dollars, Australia's Hip Hop Connect. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good shit down below. Because as always, we bringing you the biggest and best guests from Australia and around the world. And to kick off the new year, well, we had to do it big. So we start with one of my favorite creatives in the game. This dude was introduced to me and a lot of the world back in 2013 by Chance the Rapper on Acid Rap with a mesmerizing feature on Everybody's Something. And his growth since then has been one of the best things to witness in hip hop in the last decade. I'm talking 2 mixtapes, 2 compilation albums, an EP, 2 soon to be 3 studio albums, which includes the critically acclaimed Care For Me, which we all saw up the top of every best end of year list in 2018. Since then, he's had the spine-tingling collab Sacrifices with J. Cole that went gold. He's launched the Ghetto Sage group with No Name and Smino. And now, after a 3-year solo wait, he's just released the new album, Few Good Things. As always, proudly released independently through Pivot Gang, of which he is a founder. From the west side of Chicago, Illinois, I'm humbled to talk to this man today. SABA, welcome to AU Dollars, Australia's Hip Hop Connect, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. That was one of the greatest introductions I feel like I've ever gotten. That was great.
Welcome, my brother. You're welcome. All very much deserved, G. Very much deserved.
Thank you, man.
Bro, let's talk. How you feeling now about the new project? Few Good Things. What are the emotions running through your mind right now? Is it relief, gratitude, motivation? What is it? Where you at?
It's all of that. It's all of that. I feel like with every release, it gets built up so much, and some of these songs I've been holding and trying to perfect and just sitting with for years now, so to finally have them be out in public, it's like, it feels like the whole world is sitting on my chest and like I can finally go like, okay.
Take a breath. Yeah.
Right.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, as you said, if you've been sitting on some of these records for a minute, the world has changed so much in the last few years, bro. It's been such a roller coaster for everyone. What's some of the changes or the growth of the learning you've done in this time crafting this album?
Yeah, crafting this album, I think the most important thing that I feel like I learned is like, it's just not rushing into anything that you're not ready for. That's something that I think it makes art special. Mm-hmm. It makes it so you can offer perspective that is different from what you said the last time, for one. And then it makes it so you can be authentic. You can know it. You can be intentional with your words and your music choices and your visual choices. Like, it gives you time to really understand your own art. And I think that's something that, I think we done so much just off of like, these are your natural gifts and your talents that you're born with. And then I happened to have a great community of artists in Chicago. So it was like we were all moving really quickly. And it's like, in the last few years, it's like you're able to kind of take a step away and just look at yourself, your community, your just everything. And, you can offer something that is truly like unique. And I think that's what this album and the process of creating this album has been for me.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that you talked there about perspective and about things being intentional, because I feel like this project very much caters to that. Like, there's so much light and shade, there's juxtaposition. I'm not just talking like sonically in terms of like it's funk, soul, trap, R&B, but then there's like thematically as well. 1 minute it's money, next minute it's family. Like, what's the intention around that subject matter there and the different perspectives, bro?
I think with all of my albums, man, I try my best to kind of put you where I am in the creation process. This is where I'm at mentally. This is where I was. This is where I want to be. It's like, it's kind of like an open dialect with myself.
Yeah.
And, within the last few years, it's like, my life has changed pretty substantially since those first mixtapes and even since Bucket List, the first album, a lot has changed, some for the better and some for the worse. And I think my goal with a lot of the music is just to be honest about it, to make it unique and make it myself, but to just talk about, whatever it is that I'm thinking. I feel like on this album, like I'm open to contradiction. I'm open to juxtaposition. I'm open to like just saying whatever I think. Sometimes you think this, and then the next day you think the opposite of that. And it's like I'm growing comfortable with realizing that I don't have to be one thing. I don't have to say one thing. I don't have to stand for only one thing. I can just kind of be open and be human through the music.
Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. How do you deal with some of those sort of ups and downs and roller coasters? What's your sort of process or things that you lean on to be comfortable in yourself?
Community a lot. Anytime I'm feeling like pressure or anytime I'm having some type of adversity or anything like that, I think, that saying that history repeats itself. I think a lot of the things that I experience or have experienced, up, down, good, bad, there are other people that have experienced it in a similar manner. It might not be exactly the same way, but it's similar enough for them to understand and be able to have a conversation about whatever it is that we're going through. And I think for me, I just value the relationships that I've made, whether that be family, friends, peers, artists, producers, whatever the case may be. I just try to be open about, like the same way I am in the music. Like I try to be open about, just whatever it is that I'm thinking and whatever it is that's going on, because more often than not, the people around you can remind you of who you are, in the times where you may forget. And I feel like I'm pretty blessed to have that really strong, like, support system, home, here, in the industry, like just everywhere around it. Like I think before we really do anything, before we establish any ground, we always try to like have a strong foundation. And I think one of the biggest parts of having a strong foundation is the community element of it. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. On that note, on community, bro, like I want to touch on the Crazy Bone feature, that like to have that coming from the Midwest and the community that's coming out of Chicago hip hop and the Midwest in general. Like, how was that moment for you, bro, and that experience? Because to be honest, I heard that joint, I bumped that like 20 times in a row, bro. That shit was crazy.
Man, to me it was unbelievable, man. Like that's Crazy Bone, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like that's how I fell in love with music. I come from a really musical background. My father did music, or does music, sorry. My uncle does music. My grandfather, like everybody in my family, my grandmother, like everybody was doing music and pursuing music. But for me, it wasn't until I heard Bone Thugs and Harmony where I made the decision, like, I'm going to pursue music as well. And, and man, first of all, working on that record was already, before Crazy was even on it, it was kind of indirectly like an ode to Bone Thugs and Harmony, even with just what I did, like my part of the song. So we started that record a while ago. Like it took a while to make that happen. That record was started after Care For Me came out. So that's 2018. We had that record. And, it's part of it's just a belief thing. Like, it's like, we really believe that the record deserved that and needed that. And we pushed for it. And, my managers were able to connect and make it happen. And it's a dream come true for me to land a collab like that. That's just important to my own upbringing and my own even being in front of you right now,
Yeah, that's cool. Talk to me a little bit about Chicago, man. You touched on it a bit there about community. Like, I find that you guys have such an incredible city of creatives. It's so diverse, yet seems so united, and there's so much independence shining through as well. How does it feel to be a part of this? Almost like Renaissance has gone on in Chicago in the last few years again, bro.
Yeah. For me, and everybody's answer is different, but for me, that's the most important thing that's happening in music for me. It's like I watched, I grew up here, I grew up in Chicago, and to watch so many people be kind of not necessarily outcasted, but because we didn't have the infrastructure and the industry, it was like we were kind of like this forgotten about place. And, you know, we like some of the most legendary artists of all time. You know, we got Earth, Wind and Fire. We got Kanye West. We got, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And knowing that that's what we come from, I think the most important thing in my life that happened in terms of my career was meeting other like-minded individuals in the city, you know, meeting Chance, meeting No Name, meeting Mick Jenkins, even like meeting Smino and like all of them, even though he was from St. Louis, he was still in Chicago. So it was like, you know, this community, it was like a village of people that were all, they all had their own circles of people. They all had, you know what I'm saying? We were all fighting the same battle, but in a different way with different people. And I feel like when we started connecting and merging and coming together, everything changed, you know, like my, even being on acid rap, you know, that's something that it was like, at the time, it was just a small footnote, you know, but over time, it's like, wow, this is, you know, it's almost 10 years now. And it's just a really crazy thing to be a part of, just that early like Chicago growth. And I think it's more to come, and from all of us that, you know, people are already familiar with, and it's more to come from new artists in Chicago. I think Chicago is like, it's one of those, like, it's just a special place, man. Especially like when it comes to the art, man.
Let's zoom out from Chicago and talk about Australia for a second, bro. I know you sold out shows here back in 2018. What are your memories and experiences from that? You looking forward to coming back when you can? Australia's got love for you.
Hey, I got a lot of love for Australia. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the most, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you, but it's one of the most memorable places that I've ever toured. Like, first of all, it was freezing in Chicago when I left. You know, in 2018, I left snow in December. And when I got to Australia, and it's summer. So I was just like immediately like, oh my goodness, this is, like, it just was amazing. And the way I was received, the way we were treated, and just like, you know, everything was handled, taken care of. It was just like, we got to actually enjoy that tour. Like, it's rare that happens. Like, you know, a lot of times on tours, so work. Australia, it's like, it wasn't a 2-month run or anything. It was like maybe like a week, 2 weeks or something like that. But I got to, you know, we got to have off days. We got to kick it. We got to go to, like, you know, we got to go to see the Kangaroos. We got to go tour the Opera House. We got to go to some of the like, coffee shops, and just a lot of things that we don't get to do on tour, you know, just based on it being so busy. And man, it was so like bright and sunny and just beautiful out there. It was a really good run. And I'm super excited to go back. Like, I'm actually like really sad about all of this like COVID stuff that's been preventing artists from really getting to connect with their fans and things like that. So, you know, I'm looking forward to being able to go back out there. One of my goals actually of 2020, before the pandemic started, obviously, I was just trying to go to Australia, not music related, you know, just to hang out, you know. So obviously that was going to happen one day. So
make it happen. As I said, Australia got mad love, bro. When you come out, we'll link up, bro. We'll connect, and we'll show you around, bro. And show you a good time. I know.
Sure, man.
Oh, man, thank you so much for making the time today. Congratulations on the new album. We all hella excited for it. And yeah, 100, we're going to be linking when you down under, and probably got a Grammy nom under your belt for this new project.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
My guy, appreciate your time, bro.
Daydream thinking how to get some more. And it will be good. And it will be good. All those thinking how to get